Artists enter science labs and make them their studios the same year that the human genome is decoded. They start experimenting with living cells, tissues. This is their work. This was, of course, anticipated with Joe Davis, but officially created in 2000 by a group called Symbiotica. Symbiotica was established by Oren Katz, biologist Miranda Grounds, and neuroscientist Stuart Bunt. Oren Katz and Yunat Zor are partners who formed Tissue Culture and Art Project and had been working as researchers and artists in residence at the School of Anatomy and Human Biology, and created this as a permanent space for artists to engage with various capacities in relation to artists being in science labs. They spent a year before that at the Harvard Medical School at the invitation of Professor Joseph Vacanti, working on tissue engineering-related project. The construction of semi-living objects and many other aspects of tissue engineering are a central focus of their work and extends out into ethical debates of such emerging technologies. One of the projects that Symbiotica created was Fish and Chips, which was a robotic arm run by the activity of goldfish neurons. This was done in collaboration with Dr. Steve Potter at Georgia Tech in Atlanta, and together they worked on interfacing a biological neural network in the United States to a remote robotic drawing arm in Washington to produce art. In addition to doing their own BioArt, the couple has created an extensive curriculum on BioArt at the University of Western Australia. They hold workshops and have an impressive visiting artist program allowing cutting-edge scientific lab and tool access and support to artists who are interested in experimenting in this area. Among many who have worked there over the past 2 decades, I will mention a few that have created important works during their residency, starting with Adam Zaretsky, who was first introduced to BioArt in his collaboration with Joe Davis. He was the first international resident of Symbiotica, and during this time, he created 4 major artworks, all controversial, all eccentric: GLAC, M, the pineal extender, and the Brainus Anomaly complex. Humor is very much the central of Zaretsky's artwork and his scientific practice, but his endeavors are grounded in very serious and complex understanding of biologic and genetic issues that are part of our contemporary society. The act of creating art from genes, cells, and other living organisms for Zaretsky is a direct critique and questioning of the scientific world and the general complacency of the public in this regard. Here is a quote from Zaretsky. "Scientific and industrial organisms created for specific utilization or for the furtherance of comprehension are also expressions of aesthetic choices. This is why I feel the learning of these technologies is an artistic pursuit. Instead of phobic reaction, I'm attempting to critically embrace the processes of life's permanent and inheritable alterations. New reproductive strategies are opening the doors to rapid evolutionary trends, nationalized, racialized, popular, and corporate. Are there more aesthetic organisms? The lack of a common global aesthetic and a historical track record of bad taste, i.e., ethnic cleansing, line dancing, liposuction, most painting, provides me with the impetus, the eclectic fecundity to guarantee iconoclasm in a situation that could all too easily lead to erasure of the same." Another artist who was resident at Symbiotica was Marta de Menezes, who created her first biological artwork by modifying the wing patterns of live butterflies. This was a very controversial piece, because she claimed that by going into the cellular structure and designing the wing, she's actually creating an artwork in nature. However, the butterfly's wings ended up having holes in them, and somehow this caused real horror in people who witnessed this piece. Then we have Kira O'Reilly, who's a performance artist who created Narcissus during her residency, running out of skin. Here she explored traditional lace-making techniques interwoven with tissue culturing and engineering to develop an in vitro living lace of skin cultured from cells, biopsied from the artist's body.